Hi, and welcome to I Couldn't Think of a Good Joke.
Oh fuck! Oh fuck! Yeah, we're starting.
It's always on.
You turned it on?
It's always on.
What's always on?
The recording device.
Are we on air?
Don't do it. Yes.
Are we live?
Yes.
Oh fuck! Oh shit! I'm not ready. Fuck. Hi there. Welcome to the podcast.
I can't think of a funny
my
title.
My brother's in the background saying things.
What is he?
This is Jojo's Bizarre Adventure, the podcast starring Jojo and you.
Whoa.
How would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Jojo.
Hi, Jojo. I'm Dio. I'm going to invade your house and ruin your life. And that is also the story of the anime that we watched.
Called
Jojo.
I was going to say Hamlet, but okay.
Same thing.
I'm glad I was pretty quick with that one. I was like, oh, what's a parallel? And I caught it. Good job, me.
Hey, also, check this out. In the English dub, there's a part where they actually reference Hamlet directly.
Really? Tell me about it.
Okay, so you know when like the house is burning down and Jonathan's like, ah, and Dio's like, oh, you're hiding behind the curtains. They like slip in a Hamlet reference there where like Dio's like, hoo-hoo, so you're like Polonius.
Did he actually say that?
The English dub.
Oh shit! I was about to say that's.
Check it out.
I did check it out, but I watched it subbed.
Now you can check out the dub and see a whole new experience.
It's a whole new anime.
Exactly.
I did check out some clips in the dub, and oh gosh, it's like because I spent so long listening to these like super manly Japanese voices. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna try out in English. Oh no, that is not manly.
Yeah, I don't like the main JoJo voices in dub. I think they kind of miss the mark a little.
Mm-hmm.
Dio, I think their dub actor they got worked for him, but I don't know. I think like it's just kind of an issue with English dubbing in general. Your entire industry needs to be
what?
Fixed.
Oh.
Fucking give people actual scripts, actually direct them, actually, you know, give them character motivations, tell them who they're actually voicing. You know, basics.
You feel you can do better direction?
No.
Oh. put you on the spot there.
Actually, I have no idea what it's like as a voice actor. I just heard people say things.
I did try out directing some people for voices for a game that did come out, but at the same time didn't come out, if that makes sense.
Were people able to buy this game?
It's free. You can get it now on Steam. It's called A Step into Darkness. And I have some really early builds of that game. I don't know what the final release looks like, but I just saw nothing but negative reviews.
Alright, we're gonna put the link down there in the description. Everybody check out Step in the Darkness.
No, don't check it out.
We've worked together on this.
I did not.
Being casting director.
I don't think I knew you then.
I wrote the storyline
and
also the coding.
I did all of that. That was me.
No. See, I also directed the FMV cutscenes with CGI models. We used Source Filmmaker, and we had to get several artists to actually bring our vision to life.
I actually did want to have FMVs in the game. And I filmed parts for it on my phone.
Wait, like FMV, like that show up as like FMVs in the game, or like you could open up a computer in the game and there's FMVs on the computer.
Yeah, because it was we're getting way off JoJo track here, but not have a platform to talk about this. it's a Slender Man like knockoff. Well, it's supposed to be like a sequel or something like that. And you find a tape, and if you watch it, it's supposed to go to this FMV where I'm in the woods, and it's supposed to be like first person, I guess. I don't know. And I'm like walking through with the camera, and then I like look over my shoulder as if someone's shouting at me, and I run, and then I just pitch my camera way in the air, and that's the whole footage.
It's fucking rad.
It is rad.
So it looks like you were like tossed through the air.
Well, I think I don't know, but it was cool. I threw my phone way up.
That's like, did it break?
Hell no, my phones never break.
Oh, put that down.
I abuse them, and they tend
This
to take it.
is the Game Development Podcast. My name is Gabe Newell. I own Steam.
And I am.
We're about to have a Steam flash sale 1 hour after this video drops. So as soon as you're finished watching this video, go straight to Steam and start buying.
I need you to buy A Step into Darkness. It's free right now.
It's free right now, but if you get the free version now, you'll be able to pay later. We're adding monetized pay-to-win options for the player.
You know what? We have this new feature where you get the game. You do the one easy microtransaction of $9.99. We'll uninstall it right from your computer. No hassle. We'll take it right into the system. You can get the game
free, but if you want to stop, you have to pay.
Could you imagine? Holy shit.
It's the future.
Of what?
The game industry is taking a brave step forward. None of this has anything to do with Jojo.
No. But, okay. Check this out. So, I don't know much about Jojo.
Okay.
This was my first real exposure to it, watching season 1.
Mm-hmm. Now, what exactly, for the audience out there, where did you stop watching?
When old Jojo says, "I hate the Japanese."
Mm-hmm.
So
you finished parts 1 and 2.
I finished parts 1 and 2, which is season 1 to me. Parts 1 and 2.
Now, I haven't finished reading the manga for part 2, but apparently there were some changes. Continue.
Well, why? Okay, I can. I understand that the character designs for like each arc or generation, I guess, was supposed to represent a certain era.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of fashion, but then I noticed like, okay, that fashion's like what's hot in that time. It also matches with like the characters. Like, I think the first 2 seasons was supposed to be like representative of like the 70s or something in terms of fashion. But it also representative of like what's the ideal man, where it's like big, broad shoulders, very, very much like Batman, Superman animated, like the triangle shape, big shoulders, smaller waist, and I'm like, Sorry?
Araki said that his main inspiration for JoJo and Dio was Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger.
But yeah, because that to me is the ideal man. Because it's strong and it's rugged and it's like, yes, son. But then I see scenes from like later on and I'm like, what are these skinny boys? But I guess that's parallel to like what's hot now.
Yeah, that's what... so basically, this is my personal fan theory.
I think to say my personal fan fiction.
It's all gay.
Well, I told my mom about this. I said this show is very homoerotically charged, but to defuse that, they make the characters straight and they make a point of making them straight.
You know what? After a certain point, I doubt anybody in the show is actually straight. I think it's a trick.
It's all a trick. They're not actually like, okay. I don't have anything to say about that.
It's all a trick. They've pulled the wool over your eyes. They've pulled the Space Ripper stingy eyes into your eyes.
I was gonna say they pull like the satin silk towel over my head. I don't know. I don't know anything about
Beetle.
stereotypical gay
Beetle.
clothing. Beetle?
You know, Lisa's scarf made out of the.
Oh,
smoke of
yeah. I saw
the ripple.
a headline. They're making a live action of this show.
They are?
Yeah.
Oh, the Par 4 movies?
I don't know because I thought I saw Lisa actress.
That would be weird for them to already have the actress for a character that doesn't show up till Part 2.
Well, I'm pretty sure they're just doing it pretty quick.
Because, like, I know there's a Part 4 movie that's already out,
Mhm.
and they're making another Part 4 movie to follow up on that one. But
I don't know then.
if they're skipping a lot of shit, then it's gonna suck.
I do like
I think
Lisa.
Part 1 just all by itself works as a movie.
I was surprised that Lisa was Jojo's mom. I thought it would be his aunt.
Oh, no.
Because
He looked at her ass.
and he was like, "Hell yes, son." See, this comes back to the Hamlet reference, doesn't it? No. Yeah, kind of. Not really.
This is more like, fucking Freud's Boys.
Freud's boys. I don't know that.
Oedipus complex. Oedipus Rex.
Oedipus Rex.
He wanted to have sex with his mom.
I like the opening theme songs for both parts. I felt like they were very. I feel like they were written specifically for the show, at least what I can see from the lyrics.
Yep.
Oh, cool.
All the opening.
But did they use the roundabout for all the endings?
For Part 1 and 2, they used Roundabout. They used licensed music for all the endings coming forward, but they're not. It's not all Roundabout.
Okay.
So, get ready to hear some pop songs that you weren't expecting.
Well, yeah, okay. In Phantom Blood, in the opening, I like. Well, I guess now that I finished Phantom Blood, the more I watch it, Phantom Blood actually, the more I'm like, hey, I remember this part happening in the show. Because like when I first saw it, I was like, none of this means anything to me. But then it's like, oh, this is they're literally just acting out all Phantom Blood like before my eyes. But they had this really cool transition where it shows, I think Dio's holding up a mask, and so it just shows his arm, and the camera swivels, and then it shows like a knife that's gonna come bearing down. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Have a transition like that, but then the knife like goes into the tree, so it's like three moments in time like that. It's like here's Dio's mask, here's Dio brandishing a knife, oh, here's Jojo carving into a tree. But at the same time, if I remember right, Dio falls onto a statue in the home, and he gets skewered on it, and that hand is like raised up, so like there's like a fourth layer to that part.
Yep. The whole opening, every opening in the show is like filled with so many things that like become like important later on.
But it's just like that one moment was like this 1 second has like 4 different moments in it, and it's just an arm.
There's a part in the Part 2 opening as well where like fucking the part where it shows the gem and like all the hands reaching for it. Like the way the hands like falter away is the way like some of the characters die in Part 2. Somebody pointed that out to me, but I haven't really looked that up.
I got something to point out to you in Part 2.
Yeah.
It's like the second thing you see in Part 2's opening. He's using like his Aztec weapon or whatever. Those balls.
Well, that's more of a bola thing. That's an Australian weapon.
Oh, I always thought that was like a Mayan Aztecian thing.
I've never heard of it as a Mayan thing. But
it would make sense considering it's, at least to me, it's very South American, this whole show.
Well, that's because they're dealing with the Aztec masks. Also, something to note, part 1 of the manga, the first thing it opens on is like this flashback to this ancient Mayan thing where this guy puts on the stone masks and does a sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
And like the ending to the part 1 is pretty much just like a hieroglyphic try to remake of that scene. So yeah, they originally tied it like a lot closer in the manga, I guess.
Coming back to my thing that I was talking about.
Yes. You like a bitch. I'm sorry.
I noticed two things about that though, because you see him using those again in the opening, but in the show he only uses it like twice. So I'm like, why are you putting so much emphasis on this one item? Also, when they first like collab together, I was like, yeah, this isn't like super gay or erotic, because it's like two balls. It's like, well, sarcasm. But it's like the two balls like clashing, and my first thought seeing that, I'm like, oh, they're nuts.
I didn't think that at all. I just thought, dude, he's swinging those things around.
No. Like, no, it wasn't when he was doing it. It was just them in the shot, and they clocked together in the opening.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, it's just balls are just touching.
Just. Trying to think of something else that I noticed. Oh, okay. I'm gonna give you my overall review. Are you ready for this shit?
Yes.
It was okay.
All right.
Well, I was hoping you'd be. I expected you to be upset.
So, like, let me give you my review.
Oh shit! No! Hold up! I know. I don't want to open these floodgates just yet because I know I won't close them. Because I know you love this show to pieces.
This is a big twist to all of this.
You don't like it at all, actually.
Years ago, in 2015, I first heard about the show, and I said, all right, I'll check out Jojo. I watched the first 5 episodes and thought, this is fucking shit.
Oh, man.
Why do people like this? And, like, there was somebody who had, like, part 5 Jojo Avatar who was telling me about the show, and I just, like, unloaded on them, like, why did you make... Well, this is the dumbest shit. It's called JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. None of this is weird. It's just fucking dumbass vampires. Everything's really predictable. This is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. I was wrong.
Okay. Why? What changed?
So I stopped watching the show for months and was just like, fuck that, I'm done.
For minutes, I just stopped watching JoJo.
No, months. Like, for over a year. And then my brother came to visit me, and, like, I was describing to, like, JoJo was getting popular again, I guess, like, everybody was talking about it, and I was just talking to my brother, like, yeah, I don't know, and I tried watching it, and he's like, what was it about? And then I just described the whole show, and, like, I realized I don't hate it, I love this.
Wow.
It was a very weird moment where I realized that I don't understand my own emotions.
So, I don't understand what's to love then. But before you give me that, I saw an article said why you should watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I skimmed the article, I'm like, it just fucking told me what happened in the show. I don't...
That is the stupidest shit. Never click on those articles.
The closest it got to telling me, it's like, oh, there's never a boring moment, and I'm like, that's not a pitch.
Alright, so what I've really reanalyzed the show a lot. What really turned me off was when the 2 knights appeared and then Dio disappeared, and I saw there's going to be 26 more episodes of this shit before they fight Dio. That's what turned me off and made me quit. I didn't know that part 1 was going to end and Jonathan was going to die. Spoilers.
That was crazy. I was expecting more Jonathan adventures.
Yeah, like the whole time, the thing that got me interested in the show was an opening for part 4 with like a much later JoJo that shows up. Well, no, opening of part 3. with some other Jojo that shows up later, and like I was just confused. Like, why is Jonathan so mad in this opening? And like I didn't realize like, oh, that's not like I was just under the impression that like Jonathan is Jojo and there's no other Jojo.
Yeah.
So when I saw 26 episodes and it was 5 episodes in, I was like, is just Dio just gonna summon like a bunch of dumbass people to fight Jojo?
Yeah, I wasn't expecting like a whole new like overhaul of this series in part 2.
Yeah, when episode 9 ended, it kind of just opened my eyes up to the fact of everything I thought the show was going to be is not what it is. Like, I was wrong 100%. And it kind of opened my eyes to the fact, like, the storytelling in the show isn't based on a real formula. It looks like it is, but it's not.
Meaning what?
It's just kind of, like, you know how, like, a lot of like shonen fighting animes, it's always like, this happens, and then it leads on to this, and then there's the tournament thing.
There's always a tournament.
There's never a tournament.
There better be a fucking. I remember someone talking. I was talking to someone about Hunter x Hunter, and they're like, "It's like, oh, like, isn't that show just about them like trying to get to the tournament?" And that's the whole show.
Because like the way most shonen anime is structured, it's like, oh, well, there's a tournament, and then there's the training arc, and they got to do all that. In JoJo, like, all right, here's the training arc. All right, Joseph's gonna go do his training. Oh, AC/DC's already here, and he's already killed your trainer. What the fuck? The way the show is just, it builds up expectations and then thwarts them. And, like, they do it in a way that like really builds up tension.
I wouldn't say not for me. It's more just like, this is really weird way you're telling a story. I don't know why you're doing this.
Yeah, like
because like
that was my first reaction when I first watched the first 5 episodes. When I started rewatching, that's when I started to notice like I stopped looking at it as like the storytelling works and started to actually get invested in like, I don't know what's going to happen next.
Shit, what was I going to say?
The shot at the end of part 1 on episode 9, where it just closes in on like Santana and the pillar, and it doesn't tell you or explain anything, is genius.
Oh yeah, they never they resolved Santana pretty damn fast.
Yeah. It's kind of weird. I kept, when I saw the opening, I assumed that the figure standing in the sunlight with the hair flowing was Santana and that he was going to show back up again. But apparently that was Cars.
And even Cars is like, man, Santana sucks.
Dude, that guy, he was just a fucking dog.
There was a cool line, though, when Cars is sent into space. That's a weird sentence. When Jojo sends Cars into space.
That's crazy.
He turns into what? He turns into stone or something like that? And
yeah, he freezes.
They have this line where he just stops thinking.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, that's a great fucking hook. Like, oh my gosh, I love it.
Eventually, he just simply stops thinking.
That's crazy. That is like 10 top tier writing for me. You can't beat that.
Yeah.
Man, I had like all these points and I totally forgot them.
Should have wrote like an outline or something.
Yeah, you didn't
so
write one.
What do you think? No, I have the whole show memorized.
But I'm saying you didn't write one for the last one we did.
Yeah, I did. I wrote 5 points.
What were you gonna ask me?
What did you think of? So, what is your opinion of Ripple as a concept?
I already forgot it. What's Ripple?
Ripple is the fighting technique derived from the sun. By controlling their breathing, they can make these weird little lightning sparks.
Isn't that just fucking kung fu?
No, there's lightning sparks.
Yeah, it's just chi and shit.
Yeah, but in real kung fu, you don't punch a thing with lightning sparks and then it evaporates like a vampire.
I don't know. It's part of the show. I don't know what to think about it.
Like, did you think it was cool? I don't know.
It sounds like you thought it was cool.
I hate it.
What?
Again, like, the first 5 episodes, the only thing I saw is he fights the 2 knights, and it's like, I'm gonna use the blue overdrive through the water, and it was just like, this is bullshit.
That's awesome. I noticed. Okay, so with I think it was like the first 3 episodes of JoJo, right after his dad dies, and they have the fight in the house. If you just had those episodes and that was the whole thing, I was like, this would be a solid drama. If they just packaged this up and put it as a movie and nothing else, it's like it'd stand on its own. It would be cool. But the whole
I think, like, even with everything after that, it would still work as a movie.
It would work as a movie, but if you wanted just a drama without the kung fu supernatural bits, just stick with up until Dio dies the first time, because then it gets a little bit into like the mystical fantasy stuff, but not too much. And I felt like just that part was really good. Part 1 had like 3 endings, I think.
What do you mean?
What's
the third one?
Well, in part 1, they fight Dio in the house.
Hmm.
They fight Dio in the castle. They fight Dio on a boat.
Oh. Yeah.
It's like you just can't end it, like, can you?
Here's the thing. Where I thought the first ending where they beat Dio in the mansion, I thought, all right, yeah, cool, it's a solid drama, but it was a little long-winded, and I feel the mystical element of like the Haman and Ripple and thing that kind of like made the series. It kind of breathed life into it a little bit. I think, yeah. So, and the castle ending, that's a little too typical. The boat ending really saves the whole thing, I think, and makes everything that happened before it justified.
There's one thing. Okay, I know a lot of animes do this, and this show does it to like the next level, where like if someone's like jumping up about to do like a strike on somebody and he's like descending on him, they have time to have a discussion.
Yes.
It's like, now I'm going to use my overdrive punch, and it's like, I'm going to tell you all about it while I'm coming at you.
That was one of my problems with the show, and like, it's just, they tried to do 100% the manga. They still this is actually a watered down version of the manga a little bit. They skipped parts.
They skip part 1.5?
No, they skipped like a couple scenes, which is kind of weird that they would do that, but I think it kind of adds a little bit. I don't know. Like, they skipped the intro with the Mayans. There was a scene where, the Chinese vampire guy who Dio takes in?
Yeah.
While Jonathan is training with William Zappelli, the Chinese vampire guy attacks them and tries to kill them, and then Jonathan beats him easily with the Haman. And then the vampire guy's like, what the fuck is this? And then runs and tells Dio, and Dio's like, so they're trying to do that. I'll formulate a way to defeat it. But, like, in the anime, he just suddenly has a way to beat them without even, like, any thought. Which I think kind of adds to it. I don't know. What do you think?
How they took away that arc?
I wouldn't even call that an arc. That's like...
Well, that thread... Yeah, I don't know. I thought it was fine. I felt like this whole, like... I don't know how to describe it. It was very hokey, and they embrace that to, like, the next level.
Yeah. One part I love is when Buford hands him the sword and says, "This says luck, but for you I will add one letter, pluck."
I didn't get that.
Because he got the sword as like, they wish me good luck with this sword. But for you, you don't need luck. You make it yourself because you have pluck.
Didn't they bring up pluck again in battle tendency?
I don't. Kinda maybe. I don't remember.
Oh, okay. I remember two things I want to bring up. I always remember what the first one was. The second one was they have him in the intro. They have him at the beginning. The character Smokey.
Yes.
He is in the show for like all of, I'm gonna say 5 minutes.
Yep.
Why?
He's devalued.
Why is he even in the intro then?
Because the show's not that long. His appearance in the intro is like half a second. As like, here's all the characters that show up. It shows Kenny Loggins in the intro, and fucking he dies in.
Are you still there?
Yeah.
Okay, you cut out.
Oh, did you hear what I said?
He dies in when?
Oh, Kenny Loggins dies like immediately. Shows up right after Smokey.
Shoot, there was something in part 1. Oh, I guess I misread it, I guess, or something. But I always thought like Jojo was like original Jojo was a dick. Because when he's saving that girl from the bullies, I misread it. It's like, I didn't save you to help you, I saved you because that's what I'm supposed to do. And I was like, that's... I don't know.
I think part of also with part 1, Jonathan kind of grows up as a weird, strange kid, and he grows into this moral, like, good guy. But in the anime, they kind of start him as like, I've always been a moral good guy.
I wish he
So
was always a
kind
moral
of-
good guy, but they grew him as if like, I'm not helping you, girl. I'm really doing this to like help build my reputation, and she falls in love with that.
Like, it wasn't to build his reputation. It was because that's the way he was taught. It's a thing where they just didn't, because they didn't do the development exactly. It was weird.
They could have just
it was
rewrote
kind
that
of
line.
They could have. Yeah, it was weird. One thing that bothered me about how like they did part 1, I don't like blue hair Jonathan. I think it sends the wrong message about
Oh.
what this show is.
I missed that completely. I didn't even think about it.
Because like his hair's not blue in the manga. It's like brown, black.
I got news for you, kid. In the manga, it's black and white. There are no colors.
Well, on the covers when they do color it, it's brown.
I remember it being blue. If you go on Wikipedia,
Yeah, if you go on Wikipedia, someone probably drew it as blue, but like the reason they made it blue is so that he doesn't look exactly like Joseph. But I think their character personalities are so different, you would know they're not the same person.
with Joseph, he was silly, but I felt like he wasn't silly enough.
I think he was silly enough.
I wanted more of it, more of that.
Yeah.
I did like how he would always say what the person's about to say. He would like.
It's funny how like that just stopped making sense after a certain point.
No, I love that. I thought that was the best part of his character.
Yeah.
Like every time he did it, I was like, "Yeah, get him, Jojo." And then like the tables were turned, but then he turns them back.
Yeah. It's great. I like how he's kind of like this guy who thinks he's really smart, but he kind of is. Like, he acts like an idiot, but there's more to him than you think.
He's just really clever.
Yeah. He's like a monkey.
Oh, I wasn't expecting him to pull out a machine gun when you first see him.
That was the best.
I was like, what?
Like, you're just thinking, oh, who's this dumb goofball? And then it's just like, nah, fuck.
That's hilarious. I kind of wish I saw that scene in English now. That'd been funny, probably.
Maybe.
I was
So-
surprised Caesar died, though.
Yeah.
I was expecting him to hang around longer. Oh, so with Smokey, He's a minor
Yeah.
character, but he was like there, and I felt
Mhm.
like his counterpart in Phantom Blood was that one kid that just opened the gate, and that was all he did.
Poco?
I don't remember his name.
Yeah. Dude, that kid was great. He opened the gate and then he got kicked full force by like Tarkus. And like the part when like William Zappelli walks in and then like he just sees everything and realizes, oh, this is what he meant when I was gonna die.
That's pretty rough.
That was cool.
But yeah, the show's okay. I would have not watched it otherwise, outside of
Hmm.
doing this.
Yeah, it's part 1 and 2 I always looked down on,
Really?
but like the more I think about it, the more I kind of gravitate towards liking it. Like they kind of tell this short, complete story. The later parts are pretty good as well,
Mm-hmm.
but like they're all kind of long. In a way, like part 3 gets a little repetitive at a certain point.
They just keep fighting.
Yeah, but I don't know. I also really love part 3. I don't know. I can't say I dislike anything about JoJo. I mean, I can say things that I dislike,
But you
but
can't.
I like every part. Like, I can't say that one part is bad and another is good. I like every part.
Oh, you mean in terms of arcs?
like every. I mean, like part 1, I like it. Part 2, I like it. I like every part. That's what I
Okay.
meant.
I thought you were talking about like
I mean,
intricacies.
Like there's yeah, because they're called parts, but like there's like little intricacies that I can say that I dislike, but overall it doesn't ruin the show for me.
I went by the comic because one, they're hardcover. Well, I guess only 1 point. They're hardcover, and those tend to be more expensive.
Yeah, the hardcover ones are the more recent ones that they're releasing for America, but you can get the softcover ones too. But they're like it's kind of expensive in general. And also, for the English releases, they have to censor a lot of the band name references.
Because of copyright?
Yeah, because apparently they were gonna originally. There was a PS2 game for Part 5,
Mm-hmm.
and the main character of that game has a power called the Gold Experience, which is a reference to a Prince album. And Prince was like, "You can't just use my album name in your stuff.
Why
I'm
not?
going to sue you." So because of that, they can't. Whenever they try to bring anything to America, they change the name for everything.
Oh,
So
that's tough. You
the
can't
only thing,
exactly copyright words, can you?
like you would think, like the only things that like stay is like Dio and a couple minor character names, but like stuff like Buford and Tarkus get changed to like Tarukas. I don't even know what they changed. It's like some weird Buruf. I don't even know. Like they changed fucking what's one thing? Oh, there's a character later on named Vanilla Ice.
Oh wow.
They called him Cool Ice. There's a character named Polnareff because he's supposed to be named after a French musician, and they named him Eiffel.
Kind of a
So I think they've recently went back on that. There's this one guy who has a power called "Here's my power." It's called Echoes, but in the subtitles it was translated as Reverb because apparently Echoes was an album name.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have known that until they censored it.
I know in novels, you can get away with just saying anything you want. Like you can talk about a famous person, you can talk about a product, and no one gives a shit.
That's because nobody reads books.
Pretty much, I guess, yeah. So I can like talk about Coca-Cola all day and get away with it.
By the way, Coca-Cola, that's MK Ultra. That's how they're controlling your mind. The government releases that. That's what they mean when they talk about the secret ingredient. That is what they're doing.
I think I'm safe. I had a Dr. Pepper today instead, so I think I'm good.
Yeah. Beat it.
See that connects. You see the connection here we're making? Like, Dr. Pepper's owned by
Michael
Pepsi.
Jackson.
Michael Jackson, Pepsi, got attacked. He didn't conform. It was attacked by the government because he didn't switch to Coke. Oh my gosh, it's all good!
Alright, you want to know what's really sick? Pepsi owns Britney Spears.
How do you do that?
She signed some contract with them early on, and every single time she does anything, she has to appear in a Pepsi commercial. Check it out.
Does she
It's
still
true.
does she still get paid for that?
She does,
No.
but they own her.
Okay, but that's not a bad thing necessarily because hey, that's cash coming in guaranteed.
It's cash coming in guaranteed, but for perpetuity, meaning forever.
That's fine. That means she'll never stop making Pepsi money.
She'll never stop making Pepsi money, but she'll always have to make Pepsi money.
That's
She
fine.
can't escape.
But it's
Like, if she ever wanted to do anything else, she couldn't. It has to have Pepsi involvement. This is unsubstantiated, by the way. I didn't look anything up about this. I just think this because I saw it in a commercial.
what you think this? You didn't read this anywhere? This is just a theory you made up?
I just made this up.
I believed you! Why would you do that?
See, I was going to even go further down and say, like, the reason why she shaved her head that one time was she was trying to get out of the contract, but she couldn't.
I don't think I would have believed that.
Yeah, that's why I didn't go over there.
Oh.
I wasn't sure if that would be believable to tie in.
I don't think it would have. Because
Alright,
obviously,
viewers at home, try this on your friends, include that part, come back to us and tell us apart.
for all one viewer, that Markiplier video I did only got like 12 views, surprisingly, but I didn't really promote it. I was
Who
hoping
the fuck is Markiplier?
some guy that has fucking dyes his hair dumbass color. I don't know.
Let me take a look at him. Ugh. Gonna look it up right now. Markiplier. His hair is black.
Oh, I was muted. Fuck.
You unmute.
No, I unmuted. Could you imagine like one of those radio? What? You see the color?
No.
Oh, don't laugh then.
I love it what you're saying. I don't give a shit about Markiplier. Go on.
Okay. But, like, it's one of those call-in shows. It's like, hey, you're on Hot 103. Thanks for calling. But it's like, hey, you're on mute.
Like, they call, and then they mute you so that you never get your voice on the air.
I never hear what they're saying.
That would be great. Like the radio host is just responding to everything they're saying, like, yeah.
No.
You never hear what the caller says.
No, you take it further. You acknowledge you're on mute. You say, no, Jonathan, I can't hear you because you're on mute. I have to unmute you first. But he never mutes, so he just hangs up. You know what? That's all.
Sorry.
Jonathan, maybe go to the next call. Next call. Hey, next caller thinks you're on the air. You're on mute.
But like, for the audience, they're not actually muted. He just keeps saying this. Like, and actually talks to them. They don't unmute me. I'm sorry. I have to unmute you first.
I know.
But the fact that he's responding to you means he's unmuted.
No, he should play it up as if they were on mute. So then we just get the raw reaction, and he's like, "No, I have to unmute you. Don't talk yet." And every time they say something, it's like, "I'm not talking. No, you're muted. I can't hear you."
This would work. Alright. We gotta get a call-in number and start doing this.
Well, I was gonna say just like, you know what? Probably not. I don't think the PPS would do it, would they?
Well, maybe. No.
Does he do prank calls still?
Yeah. I didn't see the last one, so I don't know if he's still doing it.
Because I know he. I like how he opens like, hey, this is a prank call.
Yeah. You gotta let him know you're on there.
You gotta let him know you're on the level. Listen, friend, I am pranking you right now. I don't think I have anything else to say about Jojo, though.
Oh, it's the greatest series of all time. The Pillarmen theme is amazing.
The theme?
Yeah.
What's the theme?
I can't even.
Oh, this song. I thought you meant like the narrative theme of the Pillar Men.
But yeah, the narrative theme of Cars, Wham, and AC/DC.
Oh, that
Three bands.
his name is AC/DC?
Yeah, that's what it's. If you say it phonetically, that's what it's saying. AC/DC.
How did they say it in the show? I don't remember.
AC/DC. They say it, but like because it's not spelled out as AC/DC. No.
Oh. But he says Wamu. He doesn't say Wham.
Well, that's because in Japanese, they don't end on a hard syllable. It has to end with a thing, unless it's a sound.
That's how you'd say it.
So, like, Wamu, because it's an M and not an N, it has to have a vowel after it. Because Japanese letters have, like, the consonant and the vowel together. With the exception of N.
Do you think JoJo is a satire?
No.
When was it made? Like the 80s?
Yeah. Because the reason... I've heard a lot of people say it is, but what is it satirizing?
The genre.
What?
The shonen genre.
Like, a lot of the things that people say that it is satirizing about the shonen genre are things that started in JoJo. In a way, it's kind of like the progenitor of a lot of things. The only other series that were like this were, like, Dragon Ball and Yu Yu Hakusho and some other shit before that, but I don't fucking watch anime.
You fucking watch JoJo!
Yeah, JoJo's not anime. JoJo's better than that. But then there's Devilman, and like nothing in JoJo is really satirizing anything that those shows were doing. The closest thing people say is like Fist of the North Star, but I never watched that, so I can't really comment. But I don't really see the satire.
Well, okay, what if?
Men doing...
Well,
because
holy shit! Okay, so the other day there was an orange cat that walked by my window, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna check some pictures. I actually do have some I'll post. And so, like, I'm looking from my window while you're talking. I look out my window. I think there's a fox, and it's the orange cat. I flip the cat, flips it, runs away. Oh, there it is. It's outside.
My cat.
What a dick. Holy shit.
Fucking pissed.
Garfield.
Anyway, so the one thing I'd say that everyone always brings up is that it's a parody of Fist of the North Star. But I don't really see that because I haven't seen Fist of the North Star, but everything I've seen of Fist of the North Star is in itself silly as well. So I don't really see how this is the silly version when that show was silly too. That's just my thought.
So what if it's supposed to be like a gag manga and we're not really seeing it? I don't know. You know what? Let's just say it's a shonen series with some jokes.
Like, I mean, a lot of shonen series have jokes, but is Naruto a gag manga because they had the funny little episode where it's like hey, what's under Kakashi's mask?
Okay, step 1, I think that was a filler. Step 2, early manga, like, Naruto was edgy. But like later on, they'd be like, "Hey, we can't do that anymore. That's not appropriate. This isn't the late '90s."
So, also consider Jojo was edgy. Dio kills his dog in the first episode.
Off camera.
And if you read the manga, it's on camera.
Oh shit!
You watch it burn to death.
Oh, he burns the dog. What the fuck? Oh, they
Yeah,
cremate
you
it.
put yeah. And like when they open the thing, like the dog jumps out on fire and its like flesh is burning off.
Oh man, that's rough. No pun intended.
Also, the scene where like the mom eats the baby's face.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Screen, whole thing.
I forgot what I was gonna say. Shoot. Oh, so this series was written in like the late '80s. How is there not more manga of it?
There is.
How much?
Okay, so there's part 3. That part 3 was written in the late 80s and ended in the early 90s. Then there's part 4, started in the late 90s, ended in the early 2000s. Then there's part 5, started in 2001.
Oh, you know what? Never mind. There's
Part
121 volumes.
Yep.
In my mind, there was a lot less.
So we're on part 8 right now, and now it's kind of slowed down to like once a month. And like, there's been a couple parts where he's just kind of like stopped writing for a bit. But yeah, part 7's like one of the longest parts. It's ongoing and it's long, but the reason why it feels short, I think, is that like each part ends. Like it's not like there's a little bit of a hey, there's more in store later, but it's not like the story's not over yet. Kind of feel like how One Piece, the story never ends; it just keeps going. In this series, the parts end, and you can just break off after part 1 if you don't want to watch.
I saw a headline because I guess part 5 anime is coming out.
Yep.
And people are like, "Oh, finally they're coming with part 5," and I'm like, I thought this was coming out every year. I don't know why they're surprised.
No, it wasn't. For like, everybody thought part 5 was going to be coming last year, but they waited like 2 years since part 4 finished. Like everybody was wondering, like, are they just going to stop now? Why isn't this?
Well, I think David
part 5's out.
Production did go bankrupt. I was looking at buying some drama CDs from them, and like, yeah, we're out of fucking money, son.
Sucks. They have JoJo.
Yeah, I was wondering, like, where's your cash flow then?
I need to reimburse on bonds and prioritize the diversity of their portfolio. Put all money into fuck, less into suck.
Right.
You can't bet on luck. You gotta bet on pluck.
Oh my gosh. You could say that was a roundabout way to reach that punchline.
Also, another detail. So, you know how the two knights, Buford and Tarkus, had their little backstory?
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, that was all real.
Well, yeah, I assume so.
Like, Queen Mary of Scots, that all happened. And they're actually making a movie about that right now.
Called Mary of Scots.
Yeah. So, check it out. It's got Game of Thrones in it. She's all in the movie.
Which Game of Thrones?
The red hair girl.
Uh,
I don't remember her name. She's also in X-Men, and I think she was in Stranger Things. I don't know. I don't remember.
More like...
I wish I had her name, but if we ever meet, I'm sorry I forgot your name.
You're never gonna meet her, face it.
Probably.
Yeah, I can tell you right now, you never will meet her.
Hey, you don't know. I could go to a convention and make her sign something.
Nah.
I'll make her sign a Jojo manga.
Here's the
Hey, your
problem.
character showed up in this.
No. Listen, you forget her name. You want her to get. You want to get an autograph from her. It's like, I don't need your name, but I want you to sign this.
Hey, just sign your name on this. She's not gonna notice that I don't know her name. She's just gonna assume I do if I'm asking her to sign it.
No, have her print it, then you can actually read it. Because signatures you can't read.
Oh, well, I assume like her name would be at the booth where she's signing things.
What if, like, you're passing in the hall?
Well, she probably wouldn't sign it then. That's kind of rude to just ask somebody to sign something.
What a bitch! Good thing you didn't have her sign it. You know what? Don't even try to remember her name. She's rude.
In this hypothetical situation,
That's
she didn't even disagree to sign it. I said I didn't want to bother her. Yeah, so anyway, check out that movie if you want the backstory to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Watch Game of Thrones. It makes perfect sense.
Watch Game of Thrones and then check out the movie Queen Mary Scott's. It's like the sequel movie to Game of Thrones.
Oh gosh. So Game of Thrones, JoJo, Queen of Scots.
No. JoJo, no, Queen. You got it all mixed up. Game of Thrones first, then Queen Mary of Scots, then you start with JoJo 2012, and then you get the story in the sequential order that it was intended.
But you have to watch the Butcher cut. So you're going Game of Thrones, Friday the 13th Part 5, JoJo Bizarre Adventure, Queen of Scots, Alien 2.
Alright, now, I agree with all of these things, but it's Alien, it's not Alien 2. Keep that in mind. Also, it's funny that you bring up Friday the 13th Part 5. Were we talking about that?
No, but
recently?
today is Friday the 13th. I just remembered.
Yes, it is, but I've been specifically thinking a lot about Friday the 13th Part 5. Have you seen that movie?
Probably saw Angry Video Game Nerd talk about it.
So what's really weird about that one is that's the one where the killer isn't Jason.
Yeah, I remember
It's
him
just
talking about that.
Yeah, it's just some asshole who got a blue hockey mask instead of a red one.
There's a theory that Jason Voorhees is more of a concept as opposed to an actual person. And so every movie, Jason is actually somebody else. It's never the same guy.
There's reasonable a way for that to be, because like they did kind of do that with some of the movies where like they never use the same set for Camp Crystal Lake. It's always a different lake. So like that could work. But like they kind of messed that up a little bit with Part 6 by having like they go to Jason's grave and then shoot lightning at it and bring him back to life.
Hell yeah.
Which was cool, but also kind of stupid because they don't. Every movie where they bring Jason back to life, they always need this like scientific explanation for him to come back to life.
Does that happen with lightning? How do you think Frankenstein did it? Lightning.
I'm in the middle of a podcast, asshole.
Holy shit.
Sorry. My brother was calling my attention.
Is he still playing Armored Core?
Anyway, so...
wow, what a jerk.
Let me get back to Jason. What was it?
If you're talking about JoJo.
Oh, right. Jojo Jason.
Oh shit, I was hoping you would forget.
But, yeah. So, yeah, they keep making all these scientific explanations for why Jason comes back to life, but in the first movie, it's all explained in one line that doesn't make logical sense, but it makes kind of dramatic sense.
What? He just fucking hates people so much?
No, the first movie, Friday the 13th, takes place on Friday the 13th,
Yeah.
June 13th, and it's like, yeah, every day on this year on June 13th, shit just happens. It's like the unluckiest day, and it's fucking Friday, so it's like double unlucky, Friday the 13th. And like at the end of the movie, the killer reveals, yeah, this is because Jason died here, and today was his birthday. And it's like, that's all you need for why he comes back.
I thought it was his death
Don't-
day.
Yeah, so you don't need like, it's lightning strikes. You could just say, hey, it's Friday the 13th. That's when Jason comes back.
Yeah, just wait once a year.
And I always assumed that's why it was, but apparently it really has nothing to do with that at all.
Any
Yeah.
any final JoJo's?
Yes.
What?
Originally, the biblical name of Jesus was Joshua. So, was Jesus
let me
first Jojo?
let me stop you right there. They already had a Joshua in the Bible, so there can't be a second one. Okay?
Wait. That's the part 1 JoJo.
Holy.
Jesus is the part 2 JoJo. Old Testament, New Testament. There you go.
I need to look up Josh.
Joseph is the New Testament.
No, they already had a Joe. Oh shit! That makes it Joseph in the Technicolor coat. Joseph the Carpenter.
Dude, check it out. It all fits. There's a lot of Joes in the Bible.
Hey, don't read the manga unless you read the novel, Holy Bible.
Like, I'm just imagining a picture of like JoJo saying like read the fucking manga, but it says as read the fucking Bible.
I saw this photo today. It's this guy. It's a video, and it's like 24 hours long, and it's like reading the Bible, funny parts only. I was like, that's what he thinks. I'm like, what funny parts?
There's a, I guess.
I don't know. It's just funny.
I like the part when he killed that one guy. I hit him with a rock.
David killed Goliath.
That's yeah.
That's the one time. Well, I guess Cain killed Abel.
Yeah, that was pretty good too. That was pretty funny. I like the part when the entire town turned to salt, and the one woman turned around and then died.
The Sodom and Gomorrah and Lot's wife. I don't remember.
Yeah. I like the part when like everyone died and they like flooded the entire earth.
So coming back to our Spriggan podcast and Noah.
Yep. It all comes back to Spriggan.
It all comes back to Spriggan. Is Spriggan the original JoJo?
I think Spriggan came out way after JoJo.
No, it's they retconned it.
Spriggan is a retcon of JoJo.
It's a retcon of the origin story of JoJo.
JoJo's arc.
JoJo's arc. Oh boy.
Good. I think that's
That's all the things I gotta say, I think.
yeah.
I really wish I were...
Oh,
you know what? No, this is a big thing I wanted to bring up. This is how we're gonna close
Yeah.
it. So the music
Alright.
in that show, in part
Mhm.
2,
Yep.
I don't remember what the normal music sounded like, but I remember they played a lot of dubstep.
Oh yeah.
I don't know why, but I was like, that's. Then I look back and like, this did come out in 2012. That was hot then.
Like part 1, I kind of liked the switch from like the part 1 has like the old dramatic style, and then part 2 has like the like hip sound. Yeah, it was great. They don't do dubstep in the next few parts.
Well,
It's
spoilers.
different,
Well, you said it was pop
Sorry.
music.
like new stuff. So get rid.
Lady Gaga, dude, Lady Gaga should play Lisa Lisa. Think about it. Think about it. Have you thought about it?
It wouldn't work.
Why wouldn't it
thought about
work?
it. Why wouldn't they just get the actual artist Lisa Lisa to play Lisa Lisa?
I don't know. I don't know who Lisa Lisa is to begin with. I don't know any of these people.
Dude, they're all music.
Oh, Lisa and the Cult Jam super hits.
Just the song, "Oh, I Love Ya" from head to toe. See it in the Jojo musical reference video.
She's 1/3 of the band Lisa and Cult Jam.
1/3 of the band, her and her two teachers, Loggins and Messia, which is a reference to Kenny Loggins. His band. Loggins and Messia. Messina. I've been saying it wrong this whole time.
She doesn't do
Alright.
anything. I don't know.
She'd be perfect for Lisa. She's not doing anything.
She's not doing anything. Like, I don't know why you're not in fucking JoJo the movie all the time.
So, I guess we should end the podcast here.
All right.
If you're all angry at everything we've said,
Mhm.
Write a comment.
Don't write a comment. I don't want any likes or dislikes. I don't want any views. No one watch this. If you made it this
Do
far,
watch this.
if you made it this far, you fucked up.
Send me death threats on Twitter at Kevin the Kill.
I don't have Twitter.
No, not you, the viewers.
I'm just letting you know that I don't have Twitter.
Alright, he doesn't have Twitter. I'll take all the hate. If you have hate for him, send it to me as well, but address it to me. I want all the hate. Give it to me.
I don't think anyone's gonna hate your opinion. You love the show. I thought it was okay, and I wouldn't go out of my way.
Yeah, but I said the worst shit about it
Oh no.
when I explained everything I hated.
Oh boy.